Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to Tarot for Our Times. Yeah, this has been quite a day. It doesn't seem as though we get a weekend off from all of this craziness, and so today we're going to talk about. I can't be specific because it's too over, but there's been the FBI firings, this, the that, another plane crash, and I do have a video about the first one, and so at any rate, it's quite a bit to cope with this, and so I'm going to see with the cards. First of all, this is rated as a not a 1 or a 2, but this has been a 3-tower day. I I doubt if we're going to get any less for a while. But so I want to see what the cards have to say. I think it's really important to really not let this get to us too much. And the what I have I forgot to get the card out. What I have represented today is the Fool in reverse. And the Fool in reverse, the Fool upright it's all about new beginnings, taking the leap of faith, taking the chance. But in the reverse mode, it's more about about being foolish, taking foolish chances. I've got that in the thumbnail that I made a meme with 45 in it. But let's see if I can find this. I thought I had everything ready. But yeah, so the Fool in reverse takes very stupid chances and is very likely to take others with him. So, what we want to talk about today is how, what we can do to at least not have him take us psychologically over the cliff. And here we have him. Good, I found it really quickly. So we have the Fool in reverse, and when he's upright, he's very confident that he will make it to the other mountain and not fall off the cliff. But in reverse, it's like not it's just taking foolish chances, and it's also about taking others down with him. And this is, I'll take a little chance here to give a lecture to, I don't think this is a channel that a lot of Trump voters would tune into, but all I have to say to them who complained about the grocery prices, that even if it were true that he could lower them, and we know it isn't, that sometimes we do have to take other people into consideration and take a look at the bigger picture. So our friend the Fool in reverse does not care about that whatsoever. It's kind of a selfish, self-destructive card in the tarot. So I think it's really important, and I was very guilty of this. I love the expression doom scrolling. Before I went out today, I went through quite a few videos and reporting from Midas Touch, which I do like, but I've said in previous videos, best not to dwell too much very long on that. And that stuff can really drive you crazy, and it's very paralyzing. So what I say is just get the information, pick out one or a couple of them that you feel will be informative. There may be even a little bit on the like without blowing, as that one guy says, blowing smoke up your behind kind of a thing, um, but something that gives you a little bit of hope, and then just get off of it and think about what you can do. So, and also getting I've been getting Facebook messages about how awful he is and this and that, and I do have to agree, but I'll tell you that that stuff is starting to drive me a little crazy. So, I'm telling the people out there, be a little bit considerate about that. So, we're going to see if he's going to, what he has to see if he actually, in fact, can pull us over the edge. So, and as to not dwell in this too much, I'm really, really aiming to make this not a very long video, but I've said that often enough. But okay, so we will pull this down. And so for our little lead card, we have, the Three of Wands with the ship coming in. And this is upright, and this is hopeful. This goes back to my totally fixating on March. And to me, what this is saying in regards to if how he can try to pull us over the edge is that this is the merchant with the ship coming in, and I'm going to say that this is one of hope. And I also have to say that if you get involved with your community somehow, even if it's making donations or go to a phone bank or whatever you need to do, signing petitions, that somehow that I always look at this as there being a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. The ship is starting to come in. In this card, it's getting bigger. I'm going to say that there could be some activism and calling your representatives that could be giving some hope out there. The ship may not be in, but for some reason I'm seeing March as something that's going to be happening. So, energy-wise, we have, interesting. We have the Three of Wands in reverse. And to me, what that says is the flip side of that coin is that I'm going to put this on the opposition side, saying that the damage that they're trying to do may not be so successful, because you can see in this one, as opposed to the first one that I showed, wow, you can barely see those ships out in the harbor. So what this is telling me is there's likely to be less success in seeing a future of authoritarianism as they were hoping. And so let's see what we have beneath all of this. Okay, we have the end of the cycle, and I'm going to say that since this is come with the three, that this is the three, isn't it? Yes, it is the three. That with that Three of Wands coming up as March, I'm going to say this could be the end of the cycle. It could be, we'll have to look a little bit further. It could be that this is not going to work out very well for them. It looks just perfectly awful now with the... Oh, and I also heard that a little glimmer of hope as far as the FBI stuff goes, that local governments are the states are hiring them like gangbusters. And there's really not anything any of them could do about that. Anyway, I do. Okay, so we have the Sun in reverse. And that is about all of that hidden stuff. It's about all of the lies that are coming, that they said that, oh, Project 25, we don't know anything. It's all the lies. But even though it's in reverse, the lies are going to be exposed. And there will be light shed upon that. But I'm going to say that this is saying that they have not been very truthful. So we've got this going on underneath. And then building up further to whatever. Oh, here we go. Okay, this is, and since it's next to the Sun, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, upright, it's the cooperating family, the family business with everybody cooperating. With this is the corrupt family, the crime family, and it's like all about the money. everything is okay as long as it's business and there is money. That's a very gangster like, and that this will expose this that they have been trying. Although I think everybody knows, but I'm going to say fact wise and lawsuit wise and all of this stuff that this is going, where people are going to realize that this is an actual crime family, basically. Everybody that has anything to do with this. So opposing this is Judgment in Reverse. This is about them wanting to get away with this and not being judged ill for it. I mean, this is like this big fantasy world they're living in. So we have just as the opposition. So I want to go in the past as far as the before, right after the election. Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and this one's a little bit more active than the other deck, but the Knight of Pentacles is the loyal knight, riding towards prosperity. I'm going to say that in this case, it's the those oligarch types loyal to Trump and all this stuff, and and it's about the money. They've got the money. I mean, it's right there. But this is in the past. And this is built on a foundation of sand. So this is in the past, and this could be an illusion. I'm going to put a clarifier on this to see what. Oh, okay. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse, and this is pretty much about about illusions and delusions um, being exposed. So that to me, what this tells me is that, to clarify this, it probably means that that this is mere an illusion that is in the past is starting to have been exposed. And so as we get to, let's say, after the election, okay, we have the King of Wands here sitting upright. He's the inspiring leader. I don't think that this is 45 or 47. I'm skeptical about 47. I'm going to say that this could be how Elon Musk has been viewed, that he's really the whole leader inspiring thing behind this. But this is in the past. Don't forget, this is in the past. And that those lights did not shine for very long. So that we've got this in the past, that who's really leading. And we know that our present White House resident does not like to be having anybody upstage him at all. So let's see, conscious thoughts. Oh, conscious thoughts again. We have the Sun in reverse. I'm going to say that this is the trying to shine the false truth and having it appear as truth. So that's what they're consciously, this is what's consciously going on. Subconsciously, we have, here we go, can't make this stuff up, is the Fool in reverse. And what this is telling me is that more and more people are waking up to the foolishness of all of this stuff that's illegal, unconstitutional, and that they may even be starting to become nervous and aware of the fact that since all of this is so up in your face, that it probably isn't going to pass the legal muster. So we have this. And okay, as far as today, which is enough to make your head spin. So today, what was going on today is the truth coming out. I mean, if they want to go fire the whole FBI and everything, they needed to be a little bit more secretive about it. The whole thing with the with with ICE breaking down doors, that guy said exactly what was going on, and I I really believe that this is, in the long run, this is going to be their downfall, because I'm going to say now, it's not going to be too hard to figure out what they're going to do next. So we have this truth cutting through all the BS coming out right now. And let's see what else we have for today. We have, interesting, the Chariot in reverse, which means a few things. There's no way there's no negotiating with these people. It's like, enough of this, when they go low, we go high. No, that's just not going to work anymore. I think some of the Democrats are waking up to this, and I think that the people like Bernie Sanders and Alexandria and all of these people that everybody, ooh, they're too left wing. No, these are the ones you've got to listen to. And of course, and of course, Jasmine Crockett. I mean, those are those are my heroes right now, because no, we can't negotiate with you, and we're going to be we're going to be as nasty as you are, because um but the good thing about this card is that now that they have shown their hands, it's going to be it's going to start to be more difficult for them to move forward, because don't forget, a lot of this stuff is hitting the courts with the Biden appointed judges. So so it's one of those, look, I'm telling you to not get yourself too worried about it. If you're, worry enough to do something. That's the whole thing. So then we have the hopes and fear card. Oh boy. This turns out, I can't believe how this turns up, like in every reading that has to do with him. This devil of a card comes up. So I'm going to say that the fear is that there are too many people that are still chained to the devil. There's still too many people. I think they're going to need a little bit more shock and awe to desert him. And I think the fear of a lot of people is that those people in the legislature are not going to break those chains fast enough. I think there probably are. There's only so much that we can take. So let's see. In the near future, we have, oh, interesting, because this came up yesterday. The Five of Pentacles in reverse. Near future is the MAGA people realizing that those oligarchs behind that stained glass window is not going to let, this is the one thing. You thought this stuff was just going to hit the brown and black people. I got news for you. You're not invited to dine with the oligarchs and the Bezos and the Zucker, all of these people. They're not going to let you in. But the thing is, with this is in reverse, is now they're starting to become aware of the fact that they're not invited to the party. So let's see if it's, so that's the near future, and let's see what's going to happen here with the more long-term future coming up in the months. Okay. We have got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and there are a couple meanings in this. I do like the definition I've gotten from some of the other readers online, is this resonates when she's upright. She's Homeland Security. We do need to face the fact that that has now been compromised, and it may take a long time to fix it. It will eventually get fixed. But this is going to be, I mean, whoever comes in next, they're going to have such a big mess to clean up. So this is definitely something that is going to the CIA, if they have, we have any CIA left, of those groups are going to really have their work cut out for them. So let's see. So in the conclusion of this, we have the Ten of Cups. Okay, this is an optimistic card, but with a warning. It's and I'm going to take it on a couple of different levels. Is that first, on a national level, is that I do see some of this lifting being caught. I think that what I have had my own little psychic hit on is that ACLU lawyers and all these other lawyers filing the lawsuits, they're going to turn his game right around on him, and they're going to get stays on the actions and then just have it, delay, continuous in the courts. And I think maybe people, as the money starts coming through, and maybe some of these people get their jobs back, it's like, don't get too happy or complacent, because the rainbow is lovely, but the rainbow is fleeting. So what this is saying, there might be some time to take a bit of a breath, but don't relax too much. This is saying that it's not realistic to think happily ever after. We have to maybe enjoy the moment, maybe in our personal lives, but knowing that there is work to be done. But you can enjoy the fleeting moment of the rainbow and any little gain that we get, but don't think that, the whole thing is over. So that's pretty much the concluding. I think I want to put another clarifier just to see. Oh, because what this is saying is that there are going to be some deep, dark. This may be what lifts, that takes some of the pressure off. Is that there's going to be some deep, dark secrets that are going to be revealed, because these people, especially their orange leader, they can't keep their damn mouths shut. They cannot. This is, to me, this really says, and these revelations are what will give us these periods of a little bit of breathing and relief. And it's about also keeping your own house in order and realizing that, happily ever after takes, it's an ongoing process. And so that's very important to remember, that we're also going to have our ups and our downs in our own lives. So what this tells me is that there's going to be some other stuff happening, although I do see in March that there could be some. I think there's going to be some things that they will bog it. The good guy, the good guys will bog it down in the court system for a while, because these, especially these ACLU lawyers, they were ready to go before the election was even over, because they knew what was coming down the road. So I think those guys were with ladies were ready to jump into action, really from the beginning. So and I think some of these other people, I mean, the Liz Cheneys and all those people, even though they can't be prosecuted, their lives can be made miserable with congressional hearings. But I think they know, they're smart enough, they know that, and they're probably ready with their lawyers, and a lot of these people are lawyers too, so they pretty much know the score and what they can do. So I'm going to say that, realizing this, that this is, and also I think that Ten of Cups with the rainbow is saying, also that they may think that they're just going to have their little fascist paradise, but history says all of that is fleeting. I don't even know if this one's going to get off the ground. So, what can we do? What can we do to keep from going over the edge aside from, the suggestions that the obvious ones that I've made? I just want to see if the cards can take us a little bit deeper into this, because this goes with our personal lives. If you get in a really bad toxic relationship with like so many women, like the bad boy, I mean, they just, all they do is, in the end, they just pull you right down with them, and it never turns out to be the happily ever after. So we have to look at this also on on a national scale, because we are dealing with a, for entertainment purposes only, what many of us have seen as a malignant narcissist. Now it looks like you might have sociopath to it, and the and the people that he surrounded himself with. But also have to say, he hasn't that, when you get a whole bunch of yes men, they don't see reality either, and that could be what saves us. But let's see what Mr. Cards have to say. I've tried very hard to shuffle these up. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay, we have, oh, this has really been a burden to us. Put this down here. Our good old friends, the Ten of Wands. This has been a very big burden. It's like every day, it's just something else. Every day, it's something. It's something new, and this piles on and piles on, and it's good to be aware of that, to really realize this, and to start some kind of a thing with self-care. So let's see. Energetically, we have the Ten of Pentacles in the upright position. So we get away from the crime family. And that saying is it's important that we're with, the like-minded people, whether it's family or friends or the family we have created, or spiritual groups, all of this sort of thing. And it also may mean, with the higher prices coming down the pike, is that people may be pooling their resources and cooperating. Like, take your friend to Costco's and buy that, like, 50-pound bag of rice or flour, or whatever, large stuff, and that you divvy it up. And it could mean people sharing their gardens. Somebody grows tomatoes, somebody grows whatever. But I'm going to say that people could be cooperating, and maybe perhaps using this time to maybe generate some prosperity, because in hard times there's always some needs, you know. So it could be where you give to the community and you do get some, you don't do it for that reason, but you do get something back. So then let's see what we have under here. So underneath here was the problem with these burdens coming up is that I want to take this back to, post World War II era, when, that awful period of the 40s started to come to an end and people came home from the war. There was prosperity, but people got, I think, a false sense of the happily ever after, which is projected through the TV shows of those years, and knowing that everybody got a little bit too complacent, and that's why this garbage was able to build up. I mean, when Donald Trump and a lot of us were born after the war, and I think that his, and I heard stories about people like his father and some others in my community that really did some shady stuff during the war and continued to do some shady stuff and build up this kind of false prosperity. Okay, oh, here we go. Six of Wands in reverse. And now we see that a lot of that is a losing proposition. I would say that since it's coming below the Ten of Wands, is that it's interesting because it's right below the Ten of Wands, is that I think after, too much doom scrolling, you think, oh, we're going to lose, we're never going to get out of this. But I would say that on the other hand, this could apply to the other ones. They're doing this stuff now. They may get away with it for a while, but in the end, it's a big losing. It's a big losing. I mean, didn't these people ever open a history book? It's like they think, oh, well, no, we're gonna beat the whole thing, when no one ever has. Ask Hitler and Mussolini on the others. No, it never. But it's a false sense of victory that, they're already starting this like for 1,000 years nonsense that the Nazis did. Okay, so the Eight of Wands, got a lot of wands. So you see, there's a lot. See, everything's so volatile and fiery right now. The Eight of Wands is saying that there's going to be a lot of people, as we see people working together in some activism and just calling your representatives, that sort of thing. There will be results. You have to take that to your personal life and say, money may be tight, times may be tough right now, but if we get in the right mindset and really work to beat these demons down, then that will make things better. And things, I think, are going to really happen fast. I'm getting this. I could be off by this because, we're not always accurate with the time. But what I'm seeing is that as things as people, as these evil forces are not be as able to be as successful as they hope. I think they got a fast start out of the gate. I used to like to go to the horse races. They got a fast start out of the gate, but they maybe got too far fast of a start and are pooping out in the backstretch. Okay. Opposing all of this is the Page of Pentacles in reverse, which is saying that we have felt the part of the burden is we have felt that this is the birth of absolute corruption, but we should know it really isn't. This has been happening, but this is kind of the thing that keeps us down. Like, we think that this is some whole new thing when it really isn't, and that it's going to go on forever, and that adds to the burden. So this is where kind of getting away from it, get your meditation stuff in together. And so what I want to do here is, I don't want to do that whole reading, I'm going to say. So in the big picture of the past, we've got the Three of Pentacles, and this is the card of the guy. Usually there's the artist with the patrons, but as I've said before, in this deck, it looks like he's taking his works and the money negotiations out to the patrons, kind of like sitting in the audience and being prepared for that. So I'm going to say that in the past, when the election was didn't go the way we wanted to, that I'm going to say that got us into maybe the bargaining, and we all did it to a certain degree, the bargaining part of grief, thinking that maybe something was going to come along and save us and flip the election. So, but that's a natural part of it. But nobody went to the Capitol, tried to tear it down and poop all over the walls either. So that was yeah, we have to own that and realize that this is what this is a natural thing of doing this. And then we have, and also the whole thing about the money thing, and that the money, the big money was not on the ground with the little critters, but the big cheese has all the money and is starting to realize that it's not left versus right, it's going to be rich versus poor. And the MAGA people have to realize that some will and some won't. But that's something that came out of this election, that's seeing all of this oligarchy coming in. So as we move into the present, okay, we've got the high priestess with her many modes of spirituality. And this is a very interesting high priestess. It's we've got the pillars, but they're not the white and the black like they are in the standard deck, but it is the pillars of the tarot pillars of transformation. So she's sort of floating around them. So I'm going to say that this could be, and it seems to be rising out of the water, and it's very feminine with the moon and her and all of this. So it's about maybe getting in touch with that more feminine spiritual side of us, and it comes with meditation and being careful about not going into those, as people seek the answer, is to not get sucked into those god awful um, fake Christian evangelical things either. So it's like, be very open minded and about embracing different kinds of spirituality. So that's a way of self care. And along with that spirituality, it's always about helping the one less fortunate. So then we have the Page of Wands, and we're really going to have to, whether it's on social media or in our lives, we're going to have to really, and then the trolls are just awful, especially on those news pages on Facebook. It's dealing with these really ill-tempered, own the libs, immature jerks that we still have. Maybe they're there to test us or something, but okay, so we have to deal with those. And let's see. As we move into the future a little bit, I think seeing the Two of Cups in reverse is that, we're going to have to accept the fact that we're just not going to get along with each other. That, I mean, there are going to be some MAGA types that are going to be really hit very hard, but they're going to cling to that. And we can say, can't you see how stupid this? No, they'll never see that. You just got to let them go. You just have to let them go and accept the fact that we're pretty divided, but I'm going to say that that end of it may be dwindling a little bit. So it's kind of like keeping our own houses in order. So as we move further into the future, okay, the Page of Swords. So I'm going to say the pages are the messengers. I think that as we're going to get more messages of the truth coming out, and the truth that's going to be very harmful to all the harm that they're trying to do. So it's encouraging, and I would say every little bit of that, whether it's some lawsuit, or no, you can't do this, and being slapped back, we've really got to take that and be very grateful about it, because that builds on sending a more positive energy out there. So let's see, in conclusion, what's the concluding card? Okay. Okay, so we've got the Nine of Pentacles, and as I said in the it's funny how these all come up in this, these cards repeat. Okay, so with the Nine of Pentacles, I'm going to say that as we see the lives of these very wealthy people that backed Trump, I think what's going to happen is you realize that they really put themselves in a trap. And I keep going back to that Luigi thing, and it may be coming to down to the fact like they may have wonderful clothes and cars and live in the lap of luxury, but what good is it if they can't walk down the street without fear of getting, some other Luigi coming and unaliving them? And to realize that in the way we manifest, if you do the law of attraction, that it's kind of like being careful what you manifest. You don't want to manifest too much. You don't want to be in that class of people. I mean, see, as you look at this more, see, she's got all those pentacles around her, but she's trapped. That she can't go anywhere. And she's got her little expensive bird to play with, but that bird could fly away at any second now. So the whole thing is to realize that those with the yachts and all of this stuff, they just aren't as free anymore because everybody just hates them so much. Now, people like you and I, we're not going to go and do anything about that, but knowing that they're probably not as free to go to the charity events. They can go stay at a 4-star hotel in Paris, but can they go out to the cafe and sit? No, they can't. So they've pretty much, by their very bad decisions and mentally unbalanced people there, they're scared and they're staying in there. So they may be living in luxury, but they're trapped. They're trapped in a gilded cage. And I think as soon as we realize that and stop envying these people that are incredible, because this is what got us into this is what got us into this mess. They see the Trump, they see this stupid TV show, and I used to watch that show sometimes. They see all of that. They see this is the big lesson, that this is that I don't need to draw another card, because the Nine of Pentacles is saying that's a really big, be careful what you wish for. That really be careful what you wish for. And don't idolize these people. This is what I know. Not a lot of most of the people watching this didn't vote for him, but there are a lot of people that knew better that did, because they didn't. It wasn't the policy. It was like, oh, he's not a politician, and he but he has all this money and he's this and he's got this personality, and people went for that, and then they had the fake illusion of being a good businessman when he in fact he is not. All of this stuff. So here we have these people, and I would say live one day of their lives and fearing about either children being a kid. I knew a guy that was very wealthy from a banking family. I knew him in Europe, and he said that when they were living in Spain, he had bodyguards and nightmares because his parents were so scared of him getting kidnapped. It gave him nightmare. It went to him and gave him nightmares. So you have to think that that is not all that it's cracked up to be. So I think this is going to be a very good lesson in the values and who we choose to idolize, and that maybe that's not the greatest idea, because then we end up in this mess here. And I believe that if we can keep our own house in order, we'll get through this. I mean, I will admit I have some days where I wonder, are we going to get through this? So at any rate, I think that this will be a really good time to reassess our values, so that this just doesn't happen again. And this is the big lesson unfortunately, I do get a sense we're dealing with really incompetent people that are not going to, they may seem like they're going to succeed for a while. I don't think they are. And but to come out of this with learning some lessons and that there will be a change in values. So on that cheery little note, I think it's time to sign off now. So see you again soon and take care of yourselves. Okay, bye. Let's see, where are you?